How do we call the men and women who realized their dreams and ambitions, accomplished great things, and left an indelible mark in their chosen field of endeavors? I call them winners, successful people, distinguished individuals, people who achieved renown and wealth, extraordinary and great men and women, and exceptional and remarkable ladies and gentlemen. And do you know what is common among them? Answer: a strong value system. Yes, what these people have in common is a well-defined system of values. Now, let me refer to value system as the collection of a person's attitudes and beliefs. Your attitudes and beliefs inform the decisions you make and control the way you live your life in general. Thus, you have to be conscious and critical of your own value system, of the attitudes you possess, and the beliefs you uphold. If you haven't yet, you need to evaluate your value system as objectively as possible. The purpose of your evaluation should be twofold. Firstly, to strengthen the good ones that you have, and secondly, to identify which ones are ruining your personal and professional pursuits and immediately rectify them. I have read an article that explained that beliefs are about how we think things really are and tend to be deep set. They represent mainly assumptions that everyone makes about themselves, about others, and about different phenomena that are occurring in their own environment. Attitudes, on the other hand, can be considered as the response that individuals have to others' actions and external situations. Ways of conduct that people have learned having certain beliefs and values. Beliefs and attitudes are byproducts of our education and the accumulation of experiences since childhood. The attitudes and beliefs we possess constitute our conditioning or programming, which in turn influences our perception and reaction to whatever happens around us. They inform the way we talk, behave, and think. They are the foundations upon which every decision we make stands. Accept it or not, your attitudes and beliefs will dictate whether you succeed or fail, whether you live a happy life or a miserable one. You know, and I know, that when it comes to success and happiness, the sky is always the limit. You can have and become whatever you want. But as Zig Ziglar once said, your attitude more than your aptitude will determine your altitude. You also need to evaluate your beliefs. Beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy, says Tony Robbins. How far you climb the ladder of success depends on the decisions you make, which are wired to your value system or your attitudes and beliefs. An author explained that the beliefs that accumulate in the minds of people as they get older become the rules that govern their actions and way of thinking. The beliefs and evaluations people hold about themselves determine who they are, what they can do, and what they can become. The books I read and the videos I watched on personal growth and development allowed me to examine closely the value system of extremely successful people. Without a doubt, their attitudes and beliefs brought them to the pinnacle of success. Their value system is worth emulating. You and I can always try to develop the same attitudes and beliefs they have and see which of them are the keys we need to open the floodgates of success. I found out that the said men and women who realized their dreams and ambitions share common distinct characteristics. They have faith in themselves, they are in control of their destiny, they are personally accountable, they think positively, They look at things using a positive perspective and mindset. They are purposive and passionate in everything they think, say, and do, and they are grateful. The distinguished individuals in our midst strongly believe in themselves and never doubt their ability to succeed or to eventually succeed. Not that they never failed. They did, sometimes multiple times, like J.K. Rowling, whose first Harry Potter book was rejected by 12 publishers. But she kept trying until Bloomsbury published her first novel. The rest, as they say, is history. What if J.K. Rowling stopped trying after those many failures? She would have not become one of the highest paid authors of this generation, earning millions of dollars a year. What if Henry Ford and Soichiro Honda, founders of motor companies that bear their names, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs of the Microsoft and Apple fame, and Winston Churchill and Abraham Lincoln, giant political figures in their respective countries, all succumbed to their initial failures? But they did not. They had faith in themselves. They had faith in their capabilities and in their dreams. They did not quit. They knew that eventually they would reap the fruits of the hard work they sowed. And we all know they did. People who achieved renown and wealth got what and where they wanted because they willed it. Instead of becoming hostage to the notion that men get to live their assigned fate, they took control of their own lives and charted their own destiny. They also consider themselves personally accountable for whatever happens to them and what they become. They make their own decisions and live their lives on their own terms. They take it incumbent upon themselves to ensure that they succeed, with or without the help of anybody. They don't rely on anyone but themselves. They would appreciate any kind of help, but these people prefer to climb their own way to the top. Their character is that strong and their heart and mind focused on their goals that no matter what, they would reach the summit of any mountain they wanted to climb. That's how they got there. Despite the skepticism thrown against positive thinking or any of its equivalent constructs, extremely successful people embrace it, for they know and are smart enough to acknowledge that it is more beneficial to think positively rather than negatively. They practice positive thinking, and I don't mean that they just imagine themselves becoming successful, then they became successful. They used positive thinking only as a springboard. Those who bothered to study positive thinking before judging its worth do acknowledge that it is not the be-all and end-all of personal growth and development. As I said previously, successful people used it only as a springboard. They know that it is better to have hope, which is what positive thinking gives, than none at all. But, as John Maxwell puts it, hope is not a strategy. Successful people know this. Thus, they did not stop after thinking positively. They acted after thinking. They carried out their plans. Thoughts have power in themselves. They affect a person's health and well-being. But you will not bring your dreams and ambitions to fruition by just thinking and not doing anything. Act is the blossom of thought, and joy and sufferings are its fruits. It was James Allen who said that. The few extraordinary and great men and women among us view things, events, and issues using a different lens. They have the propensity to look at them at a positive vantage point. What ordinary people consider an adversity is for them an opportunity. This Jim Rohn illustrated clearly through an anecdote about two salesmen who one day experienced a storm. One of them looks out and says, "Wow, what a storm! With weather like this, they can't expect you to go out and make sales." He stays home. Same morning, the other guy looks out. Same rain, same storm, and says, "Wow, what a storm! With weather like this, what a great day to go out and make sales." Most everybody will be home, especially the salesman. That's the kind of lens that those people who succeeded possess. They see opportunity amidst adversity. They refuse to be drowned by the unstoppable waves of challenges. They surf through them. They are the ones who look at failure as a teacher that tells them what didn't work. Thus, they perform better when they try again. These people would simply refuse to dwell on the negative. Their positive perspective is part and parcel of another important construct called positive mindset. Others view perspective and mindset as similar concepts. I construe them differently. The former is a component of the latter. Mindset refers to the general attitudes of people, not only the way they think about things and issues. There is something else to mindset aside from the ability to put things, events, issues, and what have you in a positive frame. That something is what Carol Dweck dichotomized into fixed mindset and growth mindset. She refers to it as self-perception or self-theory that people hold about themselves. Needless to say that the winners who raised their hands in the podium of success possess a positive or growth mindset. They believe that a person should continuously hone their skills and abilities. It is what successful people do, dedicate themselves to lifelong learning. They work hard, maintaining the notion that intelligence and talents are something that they are not born with, but something they have to acquire and nurture. Even if many of them are innately intelligent and talented, they never assume that they are. They are determined to learn what they want to learn and acquire the skills they must develop in the pursuit of their dreams and ambitions. Achieving goals has seemingly become natural for these exceptional and remarkable ladies and gentlemen because, in addition to all the aforementioned beliefs and attitudes embedded in their value system, they are also passionate and purposive. They display tremendous passion in their personal, professional, and business pursuits. They know what they want and would not leave a stone unturned until they get it. Certainly, these people whom we look up to because of their tremendous accomplishments and exploits are not whiners and whingers. I will take the liberty of presuming that even during the times when they encountered failures, instead of complaining and blaming themselves or anyone else, they just kept trying. They continued to work hard, perhaps even harder. And when finally they got what they desired and dreamt of and landed where they wanted to be, they had the humility to express gratitude and recognition to people who helped them and to that unseen force that guided them in the process of achieving. That unseen force whom others call using different names. I call it God the Father. Let me repeat what I said earlier. If you haven't yet, you need to evaluate your value system and do it as objectively as possible. It's time to scrutinize your beliefs and attitudes. The purpose of your evaluation should be twofold. Firstly, to strengthen the good ones that you already have, and secondly, to identify and dump the ones that are ruining your personal and professional pursuits.